Hey, how are you? Good afternoon, everyone. How you guys doing today? It's good to see you guys. So, just coming off a long day at work today, but my boys are fired up playing at Northwest Stadium in front of our phenomenal fan base. But we've been putting all the work in practice this week, try and make some slight improvements going into week 5. We all know that Cleveland has a great defense, but we're just trying to exploit their offensive weaknesses as well. So we are working hard on making some slight adjustments for the week. But other than that, practice went well, and no major issues thus far to report. Besides Austin Eckler, I'm hopeful that he's going to recover well. Obviously, he did not play last week, but strongly hopeful that he'll be back and ready to go. As for Jaden Daniels, he is just killing it out there in practice right there. As for the defense, Whit Jr. and I have been coordinating with one another on how their strengths and weaknesses can be applied to this upcoming game right here. But other than that, yeah, there's not much to report in practice. It's just that our boys are fired up and ready to go for week 5. Alrighty, guys. I know y'all ready to ask me your questions. Same process as last time. I'm going to list each and every reporter one at a time, and then you can ask me your list of questions. And with that being said, I'm going to start with our first reporter from Arlington, Virginia. Fire away.
Hey, Coach. Great win in Arizona last Sunday. Now that is what we call a blowout. Jaden Daniels, he looked like he is the franchise QB this ball club really needs in the nation's capital. He threw 26 to 30 with one touchdown and one interception. Do you feel he's well accustomed on his transition to the NFL from his days in college?
Yeah, Jaden Daniels. Like I said earlier, so compassionate, such a leader to this offense. He's very dynamic, very mobile. I feel like he's evolved from his days in college to now being a future Pro Bowler in the NFL. If he continues to play like this, he'll be a superstar for this team's future. I'm confident in his abilities in the run game, in the pass game, but once again, there's still a lot that he needs to learn. All right? As long as he gets used to the vibes, the atmosphere, and all of the excitement of our home crowd and even road games as well. He's got to continue getting used to tough environments, either home or hostile territory. But this kid's got all the talent in the world to take this team to the promised land, and I'm sure you're going to see plenty more of that as the season goes on. So, very impressed with what he's doing so far, and I just hope that it will continue heading into the upcoming days that we have ahead of us.
Coach, I would like to say great work with the defense. This secondary was able to contain Kyler Murray and that Arizona offense. The next Sunday, you're up against Cleveland. Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland offense, yeah, they do have some glaring flaws this season. Can you identify Cleveland's offensive flaws this defense can use to their advantage?
Well, first things first, let's not take away from what Cleveland has on the defensive side. Myles Garrett, ton of respect for him. He is going to be a future Hall of Famer soon if he continues to do what he's got to do on the field. Such a phenomenal player. But Cleveland's offense, it's been a mixed bag through the first 4 weeks. Their offensive line is not doing good in pass protection, and they do have the weapons in Amari Cooper and Jerry Jeudy, but they're just not utilizing them the right way, especially with Deshaun Watson. He is going to get trouble at times at the pocket, escaping pressure. So we just hope that our defense in the front seven specifically will contain pressure on him throughout the full 60 minutes and will give our offense plenty of opportunities to score points on the board and sustain momentum for the rest of the game. So that's one of our strategies going into the game is getting pressure on Deshaun Watson. You don't want this man to create big plays down the field. More importantly, we don't want him gaining confidence. not on our home field. We got to do our job, especially the secondary. Everyone's been calling out the secondary about how bad they are doing right now. We are still making adjustments heading into week 5 and playing man coverages, watching the screens, and all that. We just hope that everyone does their part and that we'll have another successful week, especially in our home field as well, in front of our faithful fans. Hey coach, how you doing today? Here's my first question. What are your thoughts coming out of that game in Arizona, and what did you like from you guys on how they played on the field? Well, my initial thoughts coming out of that Cardinals game was that I really like how this offensive line has truly stepped up to their potential, giving Jaden Daniels enough time in the pocket to make something happen each and every play and every drive. On the defensive side, I really like how the secondary has absolutely stepped up their A game. They were giving Kyler Murray no options to go to in terms of the passing game. And the run game, they did stop it at times, but James Conner is James Conner. He did what he could in that Cardinals game. But they're doing a better job in stopping the run. Most importantly, they're giving the offense the benefit of the doubt of keeping the flow and that same energy going for the full 4 quarters. So I really liked how everybody was on their A game. But next week, promise me, it's a true test for us as to how that offensive line steps up against a Myles Garrett-led defense. And we'll see if our defense will contain enough pressure, like I just said earlier, against Deshaun Watson, who is still a mobile quarterback, but we have to get after him, stay on our heels, and we'll hope that we can continue to sustain this good reputation of not allowing points on the board. Here's my other question, Coach. Jaden Daniels is a man that loves to thrive both the run game and the pass game, but he did make his first mistake in turning the ball over by throwing that interception. What did you like about him most in this game, and what's your reaction to him throwing that interception? So, what I like about Jaden Daniels, specifically in the passing game, is that he threw the interception, which was a bad thing, but what I actually liked about him throwing the interception is it gives him the time to learn from what he did on that one play that he messed up on. Coming into week 4, he had no picks. He does not turn the ball over. But I'm glad he actually threw that interception because it will give him time to reset on what he could do better in the passing game. I understand that it's a little inconsistent at times in the passing game. However, after that interception, he made some improvements. He learned from his mistake. You'll know that you'll learn from your mistakes when you show it out there on the field. And at the same time, he continues to be who he is in running the football. So what I really liked about Jaden Daniels is that he continues to learn and grow as he steps up on the field, and obviously off the field too, and making sure that everyone will stay motivated and locked in. So that's why I said he's a true leader of the offense. He's a man that you can truly rely on and trust in to put the ball in his hands and make something happen. All right, now I'm going to go to my final report of the day from Seattle, Washington. Go ahead, sir. Fire away with your questions.
Hey, Coach, I had a question for you about the Commanders. So, you guys had an embarrassingly bad season last year. What adjustments this year did you make to make your team so good? I mean, you guys are killing it this year. What adjustments did you
Well,
make?
first things first, starts out with the ownership. Josh Harris is doing such a phenomenal job in making sure that everyone in this organization is doing what they should be doing. He's very proud with all the work that we put in, and he'll certainly be more prouder if we continue to play like this in the upcoming weeks. Ton of respect for him. Such a great guy to talk to, and much, much better representation than what Dan Snyder had back in the days. But anyways, outside of that, on the field, I got a great coordinators both of them, Cliff Kingsbury and Joe Witt Jr., they're doing a great job getting these guys balled in and correcting their mistakes, making them better each and every day in practice. And then take a look at it right there. I said this in my interview when I got the job here. I got Cliff Kingsbury dialed in and making the best adjustments to this offense. And look at it right here. They have truly shown that they're a different offense than what you guys saw back then in the past 3 years in Washington. Defense, they made a slight adjustments. They're still learning. They are young, but they're going to get better as the season goes on. And these guys, most of them got here to this point where they got to step up and be a leader. Others, they have to learn from each other, set their differences aside, and just focus on what's best for the team. So I'm extremely proud with the way that this team, this organization as a whole, is looking right now. And I'm confident that we'll be a much better team in the upcoming days.
Coach, with a big matchup against the Browns coming this week after your whopping win against the Cardinals, what are your thoughts going into this game? What do you guys need to do to prepare for the Browns right here?
For the strategies coming into this game is plain and simple, making sure we run the football thoroughly and balance it out with the pass game that we got. Terry McLaurin has stepped up his A game in Cincinnati and Arizona, making huge plays for us. That guy's just incredible. As well as the other receivers as well. Zach Ertz, McCaffrey, they've truly contributed to this offense extremely well. So we gotta hope that we get these big plays rolling and then Jaden Daniels doing his thing. But it's all about the offensive line. The offensive line has stepped up and are disciplined enough to go out there and play great. They are sticking to the fundamentals of football, as you can see out there on the field. And then on the defensive side, we got to get to Deshaun Watson. We can't give him too much time in the pocket to make something happen. And then in the secondary, we got to lock up Amari Cooper. We got to lock up Jerry Jeudy. They are two receivers that are going to make some dangerous plays down the field. That secondary, even though they had a great week last week, it's a completely different week in the upcoming game on Sunday. So, all in all, our guys just need to step up both offensively and defensively and making sure that we keep that same energy heading to our next home game of the season.
And then after that game against the Browns, you have your sights on Baltimore and the Battle of the Beltway. What should we expect from your team right here going against your in-state rivals?
Well, obviously after the game against Cleveland, we're going to take a bus ride to the city of Baltimore, in which I have a lot to appreciate about the Ravens right here. They're just a competitive Super Bowl caliber team in my opinion. Ton of connections with them. Great coaching staff, great players, and of course great ownership. But what I expect from that game coming up in week 6 in Baltimore is a lot of physicality, a lot of energy, a lot of passion, and a lot of talents being shown on the field. M&T Bank Stadium will be lit, and the fans there are going to be so energetic, and they're going to bring in the noise too. But for my guys to go out there in Baltimore and try to pull off something special, we just got to play free and be who we are. Because I put enough trust into my coaching staff and my players to be great out there. Not good, but great enough to win tough football games. These next 2 weeks ain't going to be easy, man. I'm not going to lie. But if we stick to the fundamentals of football, we play free in the upcoming games, and be who we are going to be a dangerous team coming in to the playoffs. Trust me when I say this, is that we are the most dangerous team that you could possibly face. When you look at the quarterback that we have, and with the way this offense is operating, you better watch out for us. Because we coming, we're going to make some noise heading towards the middle of the season and the end of the season. So, for all the opposing teams out there, just watch out. We coming at you. Any last minute questions? You, sir. Go ahead. What's your message to the Commanders fans as they get ready to go to Northwest Stadium for the upcoming game against the Browns? Well, my message to the fans that are coming out to Northwest Stadium is enjoy the game because this team will impress you both on offense and defense, and just make sure that you bring the energy, root this team from beginning to end, and in the end, you will be proud for what this team will display on the field come Sunday. So that's my message to the fans right there is bringing the energy, bringing the noise, and just stay passionate and hopeful for this team from beginning to end. Thank you for your time, Coach. All right. Thanks, guys.